From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Saturday, December 24th, 2016. Silver is trading at $15.75 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,134 per ounce. Bitcoin is trading at 1.3 cents, and the average price of Bitcoin is $894. Antiwar.com reports a top commander among U.S. embedded forces in Iraq, Colonel Brett Sylvia, talked up considerable expansion of the U.S. embedding into Iraqi forces, saying they are trying to deepen the level of integration with the Iraqi military to cover forces that previously did not have any U.S. troops embedded with them. The exact number involved aren't clear, but the U.S. has some 6,000 ground troops in Iraq at any given time. Colonel Sylvia indicated that it would be less of a sense of having an embedded soldier in Iraqi groups and more about having an entire special operations team embedded into the Iraqi military. This likely reflects the lack of progress made in the past week in Mosul, where heavy fighting has seen soaring casualties among Iraqi special forces, but no territory has changed hands. Previous U.S. officials have sought to downplay that as part of a refit, but it's clear changes are being made. Sylvia described this as a natural progression of the U.S. mission in Iraq, which other officials have indicated has become virtually permanent, with suggestions that the U.S. is going to keep troops in Iraq long after the war against the Islamic State to ensure that new Islamic states don't crop up. For nearly 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and have permanently removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. UPI reports Tennessee police released surveillance video of a naughty Santa acting nice by handing out candy canes at a bank he robbed only moments later. The Memphis Police Department said in a Facebook post the man, clad in a burgundy sweater and a Santa Claus mask covering his face, walked into the Memphis City Employees Credit Union about 10 a.m. on Wednesday and handed out candy canes to customers and employees, wishing them a Merry Christmas. The Santa then approached a teller and handed her a note demanding cash from her drawer. The surveillance video shows Santa having successfully obtained the money, remove his mask outside of the bank with his back to the camera. Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organization to show up in an emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare to the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com. Reuters reports a Singaporean blogger who has stirred controversy in his home country is being detained by U.S. immigration officials, according to the Department of Homeland Security. 18-year-old Amos Yi, who was jailed earlier this year in the Southeast Asian city-state, was stopped by customs agents at Chicago O'Hare International Airport on December 16th as he sought political asylum in the United States, according to his mother. Yi's mother, Mary To, said in a statement posted on Facebook on Friday evening, "Amos is being detained in the U.S. right now. He is seeking political asylum in the U.S. The matter is now with his lawyer. I will not be speaking to the press or anyone on the matter." Yi has been jailed twice in Singapore for online comments. His trials, which have been closely watched by rights groups and the United Nations, have fueled the debate in Singapore over censorship and the limits of free speech. Yi is in the custody of U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement pending federal immigration court proceedings, according to a spokeswoman for the Department of Homeland Security. The spokeswoman for DHS, Gail Montenegro, declined to provide further details of why Yi was detained, where he was being held, or if he had any legal representation. U.S. Customs and Border Protection spokesman Ralph Piccirilli also said the agency had encountered Yi but declined further comment. The Singapore embassy in Washington did not immediately respond to her request for comment. In September, Yi pled guilty to 6 charges of deliberately posting comments on the internet in videos, blogs, and a picture that were critical of both Christianity and Islam. He was sentenced to 6 weeks in jail. Last year, Yi was convicted on charges of harassment and insulting a religious group over comments he made about former Premier Lee Kuan Yew and Christians soon after Lee's death. His sentence at that time amounted to 4 weeks in jail. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.